I'm a guy who gets bored, so I trade stock in my room. This is the calls that I think are safe and good over the next few months, considering the situation in the Middle East. I'm going to start off with renewable energy, NEE, ENPH, and FSLR. I think are safe calls if potentially maybe you wanted to short something, or you want to day trade, or maybe you want to keep an eye on so you can buy a dip. Right now we're seeing what seems to be a break in structure, so up to you. Obviously, oil companies, especially US-based oil companies, are going to be safe. The United States is the #1 producer of oil in the world, and once we start seeing the effects of the closed strait, we're going to be seeing a lot of money being moved towards US oil because we don't have that limitation. We don't have to move our stuff through there as much. Um, and then so obviously XOM, CVX, COP, these are just safe calls. Liquid natural gas is something I think you should be paying more attention to right now. You can see EQT having not a great time, seeing a quick break in structure. We'll see how long that lasts. Um, this is a good idea if you want to short. I made a lot of money around the 30th here. Um, again, if I feel like if you're not paying attention to these, you're just throwing money away by not doing so. Um, and then Liquid Natural Gas is a safer company, but I have a feeling we're going to be seeing potential issues with them in the future. So just pay attention to them. If you see a dip that you're interested in buying, hit that. Um, and then we have stuff like shipping companies. So I apologize, I don't pay for this. So we have Tascos, we have International, and then we have Frontline PLC. These are just safe calls. As shipping becomes a more valuable thing, it's just a good thing to have. I feel like it's just a good way to make money. Um, and then yeah, so like if you want to go beyond basic stuff like this, so like I said, 20%, well, I didn't say this, but like I said, LNG, liquid natural gas, 20% of global LNG goes through the Strait of Hormuz. So, and it's mostly from like Qatar, I think. Yeah, so I mean that's going to be off market. Um, and then we have stuff like aluminum, methanol, steel. It's just metals are going to be big. Not like heavy metals, not like gold and silver, stuff like that, but like especially aluminum and steel trade. A lot of that goes through there. You're going to see disruptions. Um, and then with what's currently going on, we have a military campaign actively to reopen the strait. How that goes is, eh. The Republicans are going to want to win the midterms, even as unlikely as it seems. So they're probably going to be making a bunch. They're probably going to be doing a bunch of backpedaling. Um, but Iran is granting selective exemptions, so we'll see how that moves things. But I mean, your biggest sector opportunities are going to be U.S. oil, like the major companies. And what I'm not seeing people talk about a whole bunch is fertilizer. Fertilizer, I think, is going to be big. 30% of global fertilizer supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz. There's not going to be any strategic reserve buffer because fertilizer is not something you can really keep around for a long time. So I feel like I think we're going to be seeing big moves there. The calls I'm making are MOS. If it loads, which it won't, because why would it? Yeah, but MOS, Mosaic, and CF. Those are safe companies. They're going to be good calls. I don't know why it won't load. Thank you. And then CF. Ugh, I'm sorry. I don't pay for this, so I just kind of use it. Um, what's it? Yeah, so MOS and CF I think are going to be safe calls. We'll be seeing how this moves in the future, but this is what I'm buying. Um, Yeah, like I said, 30%. That's a big number. That is a big number. That is a third. Okay. Um, Obviously defense contractors are always going to be big. So, you know, RTX, LMT, NOC, safe calls as always. Um, so do with this information as you will. I am not a professional. I'm not giving you financial advice. If you need financial advice, I would advise you seek a professional, which is not me. This is a complex, fast-moving situation. A licensed financial advisor can tailor your strategy to your specific risk profile and portfolio. I am not a professional. U.S. policy shifts all the time. Sanctions change. Gulf state negotiations could very quickly change the way things look. Okay? Be careful with your money, guys. Everything is going to be very volatile, especially in the coming months with the way the Republicans are going to move, considering the fact that they want to win the midterms. With that said, thank you for listening to me. Again, I'm just a guy who trades in his bedroom. Have a good night.